up, everyone? It's me, Stef, the Alternerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another episode of Alter Philosophy, where we use theories and ideas to explore our favourite films, shows, and pop culture icons. Make sure you subscribe to join the Alternerd tribe, and here we go. The question for today's video: are the Suicide Squad good or bad? By the way, big, massive ass warning. There will be spoilers when it comes to the movie plot ending. I will not refer to specific Suicide Squad members because I don't want to spoil who lives and who dies. But a lot of them do go the way of the dodo, to be fair. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's have a look at Jeremy Bentham's theory on utilitarianism and specifically his creation of the hedonic calculus. In a nutshell, Bentham came up with the theory of utility, which is the greatest happiness for the greatest number. So if more people than not are happy as a consequence of your action, then that means it's all good. But how do you work all of this out? Well, this is where Bentham's hedonic calculus comes into play. Now, if you're asking me, what the hell, Stef, are you talking about with this Bentham utilitarianism hedonic calculus stuff, and what the deuce does the Suicide Squad have to do with all this malarkey? Well, let's go drop some knowledge. The Suicide Squad, well, they're forced together by Amanda Waller to infiltrate this island nation and destroy this big and massive one-eyed alien starfish and all the data held for it. Because in the hands of a rogue nation, well, for Waller, it was a threat towards America and therefore the rest of the world. There's a lot of killing, a lot of backstabbing, and a lot of lies, but at the end, the big, massive, one-eyed alien starfish is set loose by the Suicide Squad, wreaking havoc on the island. Waller doesn't give a rat's ass and orders the remaining Suicide Squad to get their backsides home. She was totally happy for an enemy state to be fully destroyed. They start to comply, but then turn around and engage with the alien starfish to defeat it. So, even after all their crimes made in the past, does this make the members of the Suicide Squad good? Well, using the hedonic calculus, which is extremely subjective in my opinion, it measures the good of an action by these 7 features. First one, intensity. A more intense pleasure is better than a weaker pleasure. Duration. Pleasures that last are better than those that don't. Fecundity. If the act produces more pleasures than pains, that's good. Certainty. If the action guarantees a pleasure, then that's better than when it doesn't. Propinquity. Once the act is done, if the pleasure kicks in sooner rather than later, then that's good too. Purity. Pure pleasure as a result of an act is better than one that is mixed with pain. And finally, extent. The more people who will enjoy the pleasure, the better the act. So, when it comes to intensity, well, when the Suicide Squad kill the alien starfish and leading up to that point, the dictator of the island, the pleasure that is provided here to the rest of the island inhabitants is, in my opinion, freedom. When it comes to duration, there is a Freedom Army movement that rose up and took control of the government, where at the end you see them sort out free and fair elections, allowing this newfound freedom to continue for the future. This follows on to fecundity, because what do they do with this freedom? They sort out free and fair elections, so the pleasure of freedom continues and takes on further forms. With certainty, I look at it like this. Cut out the cancer and you're guaranteed to live. So cutting out what was limiting the pleasure of freedom, which was the dictator regime and the alien starfish, meant that the island people would have freedom. This follows on to propinquity, because as soon as that happens, there is nothing else standing in their way, so they immediately gain their freedom. With purity, well, I wouldn't cry over a dead evil dictatorship and an equally dead alien starfish intent on killing and taking over people with mini starfish. So for me, I would say the pleasure of freedom is quite pure here. And finally, the extent of the pleasure of freedom is equally accessible to everyone remaining on the island at this point. Without the dictatorship and alien starfish, they are free to live their lives as they wish. So, in conclusion, even after all the individual crimes the members of the Suicide Squad have committed, by disobeying Waller, they did so to save an island nation and thousands of people as a result. So when we ask the question, are the Suicide Squad good or bad? Well, under Bentham's utilitarianism and specifically the hedonic calculus, this makes the Suicide Squad good. And after all that, which film, show, or pop culture icon would you like me to philosophize and ethically analyze next? Let me know either in the comments down below or reach out to me on my social media at Stef Alternerd on Twitter or Instagram. Subscribe to join the Alternerd tribe, like, share, all that good stuff. And until the next time, you guys, laters.